Today is Tuesday, May 7th. We're talking about the latest legal battle in Washington and why an eighth of all species on Earth could be at risk of extinction. Plus, what to know about new voting software, the royal baby just born, and a Game of Thrones gaffe. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. We could see a massive die-off of plants and animals over the next few decades. That's from a new United Nations report that says both plants and animals are going extinct at an unprecedented rate. It's so serious that about 1 million species, out of an estimated 8 million total on Earth, are at risk of completely disappearing. And this doesn't just affect plants and animals. The UN report says it can take a major toll on humans by limiting our food sources. And that humans are to blame because of things like climate change, overfishing, and pollution. But it's not all bad, USA Today reports. There is a way to prevent even more damage from happening. That includes not being so wasteful with food, finding more sustainable ways to fish, and improving how we manage our land and water. But researchers say we do have to start now. By the way, this is just a summary of this report. The full thing will come out later this year. Expect a big legal battle. The Treasury Department once again decided not to hand over Trump's tax returns. The Wall Street Journal reports this is now the third time that Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin rejected Democrats' request. He says there is no legitimate reason to release the tax info. Basically, that it doesn't serve any legislative purpose, and he says it raises serious constitutional questions. But Democrats argue they need to see the president's tax returns to conduct proper oversight and to see if any of the president's financial interests impact his decisions as president. So this is far from over. The Washington Post reports this could end up in federal court now, and even then it could take months or even years to resolve, which some critics say is part of the president's plan to make sure the issue gets pushed back until at least after the 2020 election. To be continued. By the way, Attorney General Bill Barr is still ignoring a different subpoena from Democrats to release the unredacted version of the Mueller report. And now they say they'll hold a vote tomorrow to decide if Barr will be held in contempt of Congress. More on that tomorrow. A quick update for you. President Trump's former fixer and lawyer Michael Cohen is now behind bars. But before he walked into the New York prison, he spent his final minutes of freedom talking to reporters. ABC News reports even though he did not mention President Trump by name, he did use the opportunity to criticize him, saying he hopes when he gets out of prison, quote, the country will be in a place without xenophobia, injustice, and lies. He also hinted at more secrets, saying he can't wait to share more of the truth. Cohen was sentenced to 3 years behind bars. He cooperated with prosecutors and blamed President Trump. He pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations, lying to Congress, and fraud. 2 award-winning journalists who spent 500 days in jail in Myanmar are now free. Walon and Choi So-woo work for Reuters and were arrested back in December of 2017. They were accused of having state secrets, but many believed it was all a setup, that they were put in prison for reporting on a military crackdown on Rohingya Muslims there. There was an international outcry. The journalists won the 2019 Pulitzer Prize for international reporting and were named with other journalists as Time's 2018 Person of the Year, all while behind bars. But now, with a thumbs up, they told media they're excited to be free, to see family, and get back to work. Well, Microsoft wants to make voting more secure and transparent, and TechCrunch says it's the first major tech company to take this on. The goal? Help voters feel more confident that their vote was counted properly. Microsoft's new software is called Election Guard, and companies already making voting systems will have access to it for free. NPR reports those companies have traditionally been pretty tight-lipped about their security, so we'll see how many are willing to use it. But basically, Election Guard uses encryption techniques to let voters know when their vote was actually counted, and it could help election officials better track and verify results over time to make sure they haven't been tampered with. It's set to become available this summer and tested out during the 2020 elections. Much more news ahead, but first, a quick thank you to today's sponsor, HelloFresh. If you don't know yet, HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that does all the shopping and planning for you. So it makes dinner time easy, convenient, and actually fun. My husband and I usually make the meals together, and HelloFresh really lets us enjoy the process of cooking instead of needing to stress out about it. And I'm always so impressed with the meals. They're easy to make and always delicious. We've enjoyed everything from chicken pineapple quesadillas to rosemary meatloaf with green beans and mashed potatoes, and so much more. And the best part is I don't have to find time to plan and shop for the week. Instead, fresh, pre-measured ingredients come right to my door with easy-to-follow recipe cards, and the meals always turn out great. Plus, there's no food waste, and you can choose from classic veggie and family plans and switch it up anytime. And right now, you can get $60 off your first month of HelloFresh. That's $20 off your first 3 boxes. So try it out at HelloFresh.com/newsworthy60 and enter that code newsworthy60. Again, that's $60 off at HelloFresh.com/newsworthy60 and enter the code newsworthy60. Now, back to the news. Big changes are happening over at CBS News. Norah O'Donnell will now become only the 3rd woman to solo anchor any evening network newscast. The first 2 were Katie Couric and Diane Sawyer. It means O'Donnell is leaving the CBS Morning Show and starting the new gig this summer. It's all part of a major shakeup at the network. Even when you think your posts on Facebook are private, thousands of strangers could be looking at them. Here's why. Reuters reports Facebook hires people around the world to look at the things you post and label them. They're labeling them by what kind of picture it is. For example, is it a selfie or a picture of food? They also look at where the photo was taken, like a wedding, and they try to figure out your reason for posting, like to be funny, inspiring, or get friends together. Reuters says it's all meant to train artificial intelligence to identify different types of content. So eventually, the computer, or AI, can be used to sort through all the content across Facebook's platforms. But some critics say this could cause even more privacy concerns for Facebook and maybe even violate Europe's strict online privacy rules. It's a boy. The royal baby has arrived. The BBC reports the Duchess of Sussex, aka Meghan Markle, gave birth yesterday, and the Duke of Duchess, or Prince Harry, told reporters they are both absolutely thrilled. He was pretty giddy in front of the cameras. But the couple is breaking tradition a bit. People says they're sticking to their plan to keep the baby's arrival fairly private, which means Meghan is not posing on the steps of the hospital with her baby like the royals before her. Still, Prince Harry says fans will get a chance to see the baby later this week, who, by the way, is 7th in line to the throne. Fans spotted something off in this week's episode of Game of Thrones. It was a modern-day coffee cup, like from Starbucks. The Verge reports you could only see the cup for a few seconds, but it was sitting on the table where usually there are only metal goblets of that time. It was enough to go viral online. Starbucks even used the opportunity to plug its dragon drink, which, yes, is a real thing. Deadline says HBO later admitted it was a mistake. Speaking of viral social media posts, Wendys spicy chicken nuggets are coming back because of Chance the Rapper and millions of likes on Twitter. Business Insider says the musician tweeted that he wanted the nuggets to make a comeback, since they've been discontinued for a few years now. Well, Wendys said, done if 2 million people like a particular tweet. Well, it worked. They got more than enough likes, and Wendys is now keeping the promise, but no word yet on exactly when you can start ordering the new menu item. And that's it for today. You are ready to go. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to share this episode with friends if you got value out of it. If you want to read more about any of the stories we talked about, just head to the homepage of thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and look for today's date. You'll find all the story sources and links right there. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning. I'll be back with more news tomorrow. Have a great day.